through the lens.
Welcome, small group leaders of Watermark Church. We're so excited for you to join us for our 7-week small group leader equipping series. And whether you're a first-time leader, apprentice, or an old seasoned leader, we're excited because we want to equip you to be the best small group leader you can at Watermark Church so that our church can flourish, right, generationally in God conversations in the authentic love of Christ. And that all begins with great leadership. And maybe you're here having some questions. What does it mean to be a great leader and lead a great small group? These are questions, right, Ben?
Yeah, we all, and both of us as group leaders, ourselves facilitators, have been pushed a lot over the years. You face obstacles like how to structure a good meeting, how to craft excellent questions, how to design a night that's more outsider friendly versus going deep with a few. All of these questions and a few more are going to be addressed in the 7-part video series. But today we're starting with really what is the number one explanation of why groups, Bucky, and that's how it fits in our mission and vision.
Yeah, how does the small group and the small group leader fit within the overall mission, vision, values of Watermark Church? And simply, Watermark Church is one of many churches all throughout the globe, and we're all following the same call, the Great Commission to go and make disciples. From Matthew 28, verse 18, Jesus, the last time with his disciples before he ascends to the Father, he says to them, "All authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I've commanded you. And surely I'm with you always to the very end of the age." Watermark is using a small group as a strategic piece of our discipleship process. Small groups are the way that we form, the primary way we form and make disciples at Watermark Church, and teach people, as Jesus says, to observe everything that he's commanded them. And he is a part of that small group through the Holy Spirit and our leadership, and he is forming disciples through the small group process. And that's an exciting thing. That makes you the most valuable people in Watermark Church.
That's right. The thing I get psyched about talking about, Bucky, and you, the listener group leader, is a couple years back, God really led us into this process of refining our mission, vision, values. And one of those strategic pieces was family membership. How do we know who's a part of this family, who's just a cherished guest? And so we came up with this family membership language, and many people wondered, how do I become a member? How do I belong at Watermark? And what is your discipleship process? And God gave us this very simple 3-step, maybe a circle, maybe linear, just depends. And it's these 3 words: receive, join, serve. Receive, join, serve. Receive is the open invitation to be a family here. That is basically a verbal commitment, a covenant, a contract that says, I'm saying yes to this family. As many great churches there are in Costa Mesa and abroad, this is the one I'm called to. I say yes. And then you make the decision to go deeper with a few. That's the join piece. That's really explicitly small groups. How does one grow? How does one progress at Watermark? We believe it's joining a small group of people, a Bible study. We use that language interchangeably. And then finally, the last impulse is to serve, which we're going to be talking about in another video. But this is really inherent to the model of Watermark's maturity process.
Yeah, receive, join, serve. And it's our desire that every person that hears God's call for them to say, I'm going to plant my roots here at Watermark Church, is to follow that process, because that's the process we see that allows us to take people, put them in a family context, community context, and form them into the image of Christ. And that's kind of the mission, as we said it, lead others in a genuine relationship with Jesus that reflects his love in the places where they live, serve, work, and play. And that is the mission of Watermark Church, and that's how small groups fit in a family context with the mission vision of Watermark Church.
That's right, guys. So as we wind down this first video, you should just know groups is the vision, our vision for how people change, how people grow, how people are transformed. We spend thousands of hours a year being formed by the world. Groups, going deep with a few, is a way that we are transformed around the image of God, his word, and fellowship with other people. So it's a big why, it's a big platform for why the church organizes itself, why we meet together. And once again, like Bucky, like you said, a huge affirmation for you, the group leader. You are co-shepherds with us in this very important work.
Yes, and really our first order of duty here is, have you gone through this process yourself? Have you received that call, from the Lord to say, this is my church, this is my family, therefore I'm going to own that, I'm going to receive that call, and then I'm in a small group context because of that call. I've joined that group now. I'm called to lead a group, and that's my service through my spiritual gift of leadership.
That's right.
And so you want to make sure you've gone through that process, and really every member of your small group, you want to encourage them to be able to explain this process and help them along that process.
That's right. So you guys, the next video is going to be about co-leaders, building into an apprentice or a mentee type leader. Huge value for us, and it's an important stop number 2. But for now, don't forget the why. Why do we gather in small groups? Why is it such a big deal? Every group leader should embrace and internalize that value.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, if you have any questions, Ben and I are here for you. You also have a deacon that is over small groups, Danny DeGuzman. You can get online and ask him questions. You can get us on our website. And if you have any questions, we're here to answer those questions and help you to be a flourishing small group leader.
That's right. Thanks, guys.